What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Canelo Alvarez, who's the undisputed super middleweight champion, has announced that he will take on Charlo. A lot of people say, wait a minute, JB Sports. You late to the game. You bring in yesterday's news. We all know that he's going to be fighting Jermell Charlo. That was brought to our attention 3 days ago. But now, it's been a change of plans. Jermell Charlo, who's been out of the ring for well over 2 years, will not be available to take on Canelo Alvarez in his next fight. And instead, his brother, undisputed junior middleweight champion Jermell Charlo, will take on Canelo Alvarez. So what that means is we have undisputed versus undisputed. Undisputed at 168, Canelo Alvarez, the top dog, the creme de la creme, taking on undisputed at 154, the head honcho, the top dog. And it's going to be an epic fight. Neither fighter going to give an inch. Neither fighter going to give a quarter. It's going to be a great matchup. This fight could take place in a phone booth. Much more exciting fight. This is going to be a fan-friendly fight. This is going to be a fight for not only the hardcore boxing fan, but for the casual boxing fan. This fight is not going to be about the sweet side. This is going to be about biting down on your mouthpiece and going to war. It's going to come down to who's in the best condition. Who's willing to go down that dark alley at 2 in the morning and don't think twice about it. But I got to go this way because I got to make it home to my wife and kids. Or I got to make it home to my sick mama. It's going to be about that type of fight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an epic matchup. Because if you'd have found Jermell Charlo would have attempted to beat Canelo Alvarez with his jab. Jermell Charlo has one of the best jabs in boxing. Jermell Charlo is looking to land combinations. He's looking to land the uppercut. He's looking to land the right hand. He's looking to do damage. He's looking to get you up out of there. He is a guy that has a PhD in the one-hitter quitter. And he has power second to none at 154 pounds. Now, will his power travel up to 168? We will see. That remains to be seen. But we got to understand that Canelo Alvarez is a guy that came up to 168. He's not a natural 168-pounder. Him and Jermell Charlo campaigned at the same weight class not that long ago. So on fight day and on fight night, Charlo, the advantage that he will have is that he is not going to be the naturally smaller man. He's just as big as Canelo. But Canelo has been fighting at that weight class. He's accustomed to fighting at 168, and that's where the advantage will lie in with Canelo Alvarez. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But this is some breaking news that just came down the chute earlier today. Canelo Alvarez, undisputed at 168 pounds, will take on Jermell Charlo, undisputed at 154. Now his main contender at 154 was Tim Tszyu, who was biding his time. He was taking 2 fights in between, waiting on Jermell Charlo to recover from his hand injury that he suffered in sparring. But he is a guy that's going to have to wait a little while longer for his opportunities to fight for the titles at 154, because none of those sanctioning bodies are going to dare think about stripping Jermell Charlo. Muhammad Ali said this about a long time ago. If you even dream about beating me, you better wake up and apologize. So if the sanctioning bodies even dream about stripping Jermell Charlo, they're going to quickly wake up and apologize. It's not happening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get undisputed. Now, it will not take place on Mexican Independence Day, September 16th. It will take place September 30th. Now, it's going to be a very mouth-watering matchup. You got 2 guys that are looking to do damage. 2 guys that are not going to be looking to be fighting off the back foot. You're going to be got 2 guys looking to bring the pain. So we will see what happens. And we will see what transpires. Jermell Charlo only loss was a controversial loss to Tony Harrison via split decision. A lot of people thought he won that fight, but he got his get back and got it understood in his situation when he took on Tony Harrison in a rematch, and he stopped Tony Harrison in the 11th round to recapture his belts. And then right after that, he became undisputed when he defeated Brian Castano in the rematch. In the first fight, it went to a draw, a fight that I actually thought he lost, but it was a very, very competitive fight, a lot of swing rounds. Castano was a much busier fighter, but Jermell Charlo landed the more damaging punches. So it came down to what you as a judge favor. You favor the guy that's the more busier guy, or you favor the guy that's doing the most damage in the fight, the guy that's landing the more damaging punches. And that's why that fight ended up being a draw. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Now, 154-pound Jermell Charlo is going to have to jump up 14 pounds to 168 pounds. That's going to be quite a jump. But he's not going to have to cut that much weight during training camp. He's probably going to be actually physically stronger. A lot of people were speculating that he was going to be moving up to 160 anyway after he defeated Brian Castano. They said he had took care of business at 154. He had cleaned out the division, and he had no other business that he needed to take care of at 154. He should have moved up to 160 to try to become multi-division world champion. But we had Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu had put on two great performances when he stopped the classic boxer and Tony Harrison, and then defeated the journeyman Ocampo in a fight that a lot of people was anticipating was going to go past one round. He stopped and dominated Ocampo and stopped him inside one round. The only guy that did that to Ocampo was Errol Spence Jr. We all know that Errol Spence Jr. is a top pound-for-pound fighter. So that lets you know that Tim Tszyu is a guy that has improved each and every fight. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But interesting developments. Now, I would think that Jermell Charlo won't want to get an interim fight in between his potential matchup with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez defeats his brother, Jermell Charlo. Now, there was a lot of people talking about a potential matchup between Jermell Charlo versus Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. That fight seemed to fall by the wayside when Jermell Charlo was linked to a matchup with Canelo Alvarez. But being out the ring 2 years, dealing with personal issues, he's not going to be ready to take on Canelo Alvarez in September. So up stepped his brother, undisputed at 154, to save the day. And now we got a mega matchup involving two undisputed champions on September 30th in Las Vegas, Nevada, a.k.a. Sin City, on Showtime pay-per-view. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Now, Canelo Alvarez signed a 3-fight deal with the PBC. The first fight, as it's been officially announced today, will be versus undisputed junior middleweight champion Jermell Charlo. The second fight, if he defeats Jermell Charlo, will be against WBC middleweight champion Jermell Charlo, as he will try to avenge the loss of his brother. If he gets by Jermell Charlo, the third fight will be against unified welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr. This is bad news for David Benavidez. This is bad news for David Morrell, but it should not be surprising news to anybody that been paying attention to what Canelo Alvarez has been saying for the last couple of years. He said he is not fighting anti-Mexican fighters anymore. And he hasn't done that since 2017 when he defeated Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. via unanimous decision. That fight took place. He fought the son of the idol of his, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., the bad blood, the trash talking. I think it all left a bad taste in the mouth of Canelo Alvarez, and he does not want to fight a fellow countryman anymore. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires, but that's the likely 3-fight deal if Canelo Alvarez has signed with the PBC. Jermell Charlo, September 30th. Jermell Charlo, Cinco de Mayo 2024. And Errol Spence Jr., Mexican Independence Day 2024. So we will see what happens, and We will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard Briscoe. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.